Once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining for another session of Azure Power Lunch. As you know that we are recording this call and we place our recordings on our YouTube channel. So if you don't want to be recorded, you may want to drop off now. And today we are going to be talking about Network Manager Verifier. That is in public preview. So first of all, let's take a here's our agenda. We're going to do a quick overview of what is Virtual Network Manager is. I think we have talked about it in a past session. Then what is Network Manager Verifier is in public preview. And then, of course, it's a demo filled session. So most of the time will be spent on different demos that we're going to be doing. So Virtual Network Manager is an Azure service which allows you to centrally manage, deploy virtual network globally across subscriptions. So you can have multiple virtual networks. What you can do is you can group them in different connectivity options like hub and spoke, things like that, without going through all the complexity. Allows you to basically set up IP address, manage IP address ranges, apply security policy, apply routing, all of that, apply connectivity. So all of these things are a part of Azure Virtual Network Managers. Think of it as a global way to manage your network. If you have a few virtual networks, may not be that helpful, but if you have a lot of virtual networks, a lot of teams, and you that spread across the globe, or a region or regions, definitely that's something that you want to take advantage of. The at the end of the day, all of the core is to reduce complexity. That's what it aims to do. So the goal is that it want you it you know it takes its aim to reduce the complexity. So you can um, have connectivity between these virtual networks, set policies without going through all the complexity, without going through, setting up between all different regions and all. Okay. So let's go into the virtual network verifier. What is virtual network verifier? Virtual network verifier is a tool that is available as a part of virtual network manager, which allows you to see if the traffic is flowing between two Azure network resources. Okay, that's very important. It checks the network traffic flow between a source and a destination. Okay, what you can do is you can create a verifier workspace, and as a work that acts as a container, and then you can create your workflow like I want to check traffic from public internet to this VM, or I want to check traffic from public internet to this subnet or storage account. So there are a number of things that it allows you to do, and that's kind of very useful. It helps you do those, allows you to do those things, you know. And then there is a reachability analysis. So once you set up this verifier workflow, then you can run this workflow and it allows you to capture information to see, okay, how is the connectivity happening and are there any issues or challenges there? So some of the key use cases, a few of them I already talked about, from public internet to a virtual machine, subnet, or a resource. At this point, it can be a storage account, it can be um, a document DB database, a Cosmos DB database, or it can be a SQL server. Okay, and then what you may have some NSG rules, you may have some Azure Virtual Network admin rules, all of these security rules, all of these can be there. You can have some VNet peering, you may have vWAN, all of these are covered. So these are some of the things. So these are supported features. At this moment, these are the things that it can detect, and it can kind of a traverse, and it can report in that reachability analysis. And just keep in mind, this is not limited to, this is in public preview. So this list will grow bigger, hopefully, as we move further. So just keep that in mind. Any questions, folks? Okay. Folks, can you still hear me? Just give me a thumbs up if you still can hear me. Sorry, there was like I think there was a spam call. I hope you guys can still hear me clearly. Okay. Uh, so I will take silence as golden. Okay. Um, so let's move on to the demo piece of it. So first of all, let's go into I'm going to go to a virtual network manager. So what I have done is I have created a virtual network manager, and that is, I think we have gone through it, like how you created. I mean, it has a few network groups. And then if you go through Virtual Network Manager, that's where you see a verifier workspaces. The way you create it, I mean, Verifier workspace is just a container. So you just give it a name and you create the verifier workspace. There is nothing much to it. So the point is that the verifier workspace, there is, I mean, in itself is just a container of your workflows. All of your information that you're going to be using to connect will be inside your, okay, okay. So let's go back here and so what you do is, first thing is you create a reachability intent. The goal of reachability intent is, okay, I need to see connectivity between a virtual machine and or another virtual machine, two virtual machines. Okay. So let's do a very simple test. I have here, I have a list of VMs. Okay, so let me click here. These are my virtual machines. So I have these four virtual machines, and the first two, they are in the same VNet. So I'm just going to check connectivity. Can they connect to each other? Are there any challenges? I intend to do the connectivity. So let me just show you how you set that. Uh, okay. Okay, so here we go. We have the VNet demo verifier workspace. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a reachability analysis intent details. And that's where you provide the detail. Okay. Um, and in the detail, what we're going to do is we are going to add a name. So let's say call it VM to VM. Okay. And then I'm going to select the protocol. You can do ICMP, which is ping, TCP or UDP, and then source type. I'm just going to select a virtual machine, and it's going to ask me to select the source. And the source, as I said, is VM1. Then I'm going to select any port. So I'm just going to say source can come, through any port. Then I'm going to select a destination, virtual machine, keep going down, and then I'm going to select this destination, which is BM2. Okay, that's that. And then I am going to select the port is 22 because I'm just want to see if I can SSH into a VM, and that's it. And now I have created the um, VM to VM. This is the reachability intent. Um, and this is basically reachability intent is nothing. It's just a workflow. Okay. So you set up a workflow And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select here and I'm going to say start analysis. And by the way, you have to give a name to the analysis. So I'm going to call it VM to VM analysis 01. And let's start the analysis. Once you start the analysis, it tells you that it takes 10 minutes. So far, based on my experience, it's pretty quick, So it takes, it's already started. So it takes less than a minute. Okay. Okay. So analysis is complete. And let's look at the analysis. So you see all packets reached. So it shows you the diagram and you can kind of, um, look at the diagram, enlarge it, see where it is traversing. So basically, it's going from the virtual machine to NSG, to NIC to NSG to subnet, and then the other subnet, and that's all packets reach. So you know that there is connectivity there. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to try to do a slightly different analysis. I have two VNets, VNet 4 and VNet 1. Okay, so let me show you these virtual networks. So I'm going to come here. I have two VNets, VNet 1 and VNet 4. Okay, and there is no peering or connectivity between them. And I want to, so basically, I want to see if I can connect between these two VNets. There are two VMs, one VNet 1, VM1 and then VM4. I want to see if that connectivity is there. So let's take a look. Okay. So I already have created a workflow for that. And let me show you that workflow. This is called peer intent. So this is the workflow. In this case, this is the space virtual machine 1 and virtual machine 4. Okay. And let me run this workflow now. And let's see what is the analysis. So I'm going to call it um, peer. Okay. So at this point, there is no connectivity between those two. There is no peering setup between those two virtual networks. Okay. So let's see what results do we get. In the meantime, any questions, folks? Okay, so analysis is complete, and let's take a look. Let's take the look. I mean, this was our analysis number 3 that we did. So no packets reached. Okay, so what it is saying is there are no packets reached because, oh yeah, of course. I mean, there is no peering. So let's set up peering. So what we do is we go to VNet 1 and we say we are going to set up network peerings. And with the network peering, we go in here and we call it V1, sorry, VNet 1 to VNet 4. Okay. And of course, the reverse peering link is VNet 4 to VNet 1. And yes, we are going to allow traffic to flow between these two. Let's go back up. What is the issue here? Yeah, select the VNet. We're going to select VNet 4. So we set all things up. Let's do add the peering. and this is the virtual network peering is happening. So it will take a second. The peering is set up, and then we can run. So this is, so think of it. I mean, I'm giving a very simple kind of a scenario, but you may have a hub and spoke model. You know, you may have multiple peerings, and then you want to see if you can take traffic from one to the other, one VM to the other, or one resource to the other, kind of a scenario. But you may have a hub and spoke model. You know, you may have multiple peerings, and then you want to see if you can take traffic from one to the other, one VM to the other, or one resource to the other. In that case, this thing is really helpful, where you can find if you are able to uh, get, uh, you know, or what you need to do to set up the desired connectivity. You can test it. Okay. So let's start the analysis one more time, and we call it peer analysis 5. So once again, analysis has started, and it will take a second to complete. Let's wait for it. It's running. And by the way, you can see all the analysis here. So this one, as you can see, it's still progressing. So you can see all the analysis here. So this is completed. Let's, if we do, so this was the 5 one, and now you see all packets reached. Okay. And I want you to focus on this JSON output. It's kind of very interesting. It says all packets reached, and that's the trace. So you have the uh, destination, destination port, source address, source port, TCP packet has source IP address matching. So it kind of gives you the entire trace where it is going through. It's going through the net. And this will be very helpful when you have NSG rules, you have the admin and VNet admin security rules. All of these rules are there. Then you reach to this thing. So you know, okay, all of the rules are matching, and you can play with different type of workflows, set up different type of IP address to see, okay, which one can reach and which one cannot reach, and does it meet my requirement? So that's very, very important. Okay. Okay, so that's that. Let's talk about another thing. So now what I have is I have a storage account. Okay, so I have created a storage account. Let's go back here. I'm gonna click here, and I have a storage account. Okay, and I wanna see um, if I can get to the storage account. What I have done is I have turned on this allow IP address, and I want to show you some very interesting results. So let's go back to our workflow or flow network flow for that. Okay. So once again, go to the reachability analysis intents, and what we're going to do is connect storage. Let's take a look at this intent. And actually, let's create from scratch. I'm going to do a connect storage too, so you can see like how to build this up. Once again, we're going to use the same connect storage 2. This is the new protocol is TCP, source type. I'm going to see public internet, and I'm going to put my IP address, which is this one. So this is the outbound address of my router. Okay. So I'm just going to use this IP address. Okay. And then I'm going to see if I can get from this IP address to where I want to go. Okay. And then source port is star. So anything destination, I'm going to say it's a storage account. Okay. And select destination, I'm going to say So this is the storage account name. I'm going to select that. Okay. So this one has a private endpoint. So it's going to by default um, select that. What you can do is you can do this. Okay. So basically what we are saying is we are saying it's going to go through public, and this is the IP address that it should try to go to. Okay. So that's that. And then for destination port, we are going to use 443. Okay. So let's create this. It will take a second to create. Please, in the meantime, if you have any questions, sorry, folks, whoever was trying to join, folks, my apologies. I wasn't looking at the screen. Folks, if anybody's trying to join, please let them in. My apologies. Edmund, I was not paying attention. I was looking at the screen. So my apology. Okay, so let's go to this connect storage to, and let's start the analysis. Okay, and I'm going to call it connect to storage analysis 2. Or whatever. I mean, we can give a random number. So now the analysis has started. We can go to the analysis screen and we can see if there is a new analysis going on here. So that's as you can see, this is in progress. It will take a few minutes to complete. So what we are doing is we have a storage account, and that is a private endpoint, but we have allowed a endpoint in the firewall, IP added an IP address to the firewall to allow list, and we see if the connectivity is there. So let's refresh it, and that analysis is complete. And let's just make sure that's the right one. Yes, it is. And it will show us interesting stuff. And that's what I wanted to show you. It says some packet reached. Okay. And let's take a look at what packets got there and what did not. So some packet reached. So this is the trace internet. It's going through destination address. So it's pick up this destination address. So basically, this is the default public IP address of the storage account. So that's what it's hitting. So basically, we have allowed it. And so it is getting to the storage account, public match, public IP address, and it's kind of hitting uh, the storage account. And I will show you why it is saying that it cannot reach. Some packet could not be delivered. Okay, that's the unreached trace, and that's the destination because there is no. I mean, this is a an IP address. When you want to say all IP address, that's when we use 0.0.0.0.0/0. So it's saying, yeah, there is no IP address. Oh, that's good. That's okay. But we just want to check if we can get to the public IP address of the storage account. And it was able to go there. Okay, folks? So just a quick wrap up. Um, First of all, any questions?
Yeah, I have a question, please.
So first, now a quick wrap around. As you know, that we are
Can you
talking
hear me?
about Virtual Network Verifier. Virtual Network Verifier is a tool that is available as a part of Virtual Network Manager, and it allows you to kind of check the traffic flow, network traffic flow between two Azure resources. Okay. It has something called a verifier workspace, which is nothing but a container where you can create your reachability, or you create your network workflows, and then you run these workflows to get data to see rich information in the form of a JSON to see if your traffic was able to get from your source to the destination. And that's how you determine. And at this point, um, the information that you get, the supported feature, uh, it evaluates the following, network features. For example, NSG, ASG, you have VNet peering, you have virtual WAN. So you may have a very complex network and you want to see If after all the setup, you can set go from point one to point two, and what is the traffic path? Is it the desired traffic path that you have, or are there any blocks? So wherever you want to block the traffic or allow the traffic, network verifier, virtual network verifier can help you do that. And just as I said, that this list is for the public preview. If you look at the documentation, you will see that they are saying that there will be more things added to the list. We don't know what they will be, but there will be more things, more enhancements that's coming our way. So that's kind of thing I want to talk about today. As I said, this is currently in public preview. It's available for you to take a look. You can create as I said, create a virtual network. First, you create a virtual verifier workspace in virtual network. Go into virtual network verifier, create a workspace, and then start creating these reachability analysis intent, which are nothing. They are just workflows. You create these workflows. It has source and destination, so you know how you are getting from one spot to the other, and then once you start the analysis, you can see you can capture the information and look at it and see, is that what you wanted to intend? Are there any changes that you need to make? So that's all I wanted to talk about today. Any questions? Okay, sorry, I think somebody had a questions. Yes, yes, exactly. You can go from a single a VM to a target subnet. Yes, Michael, sorry, I just saw your question. Yes, you can go from a single VM to a target subnet. Absolutely. It's not just I. So, I mean, it is, to me, it's a very, in that way, it's a very advanced tool. So you can see the connectivity to a subnet itself. So that's very powerful. Okay. Hey, folks, any other questions?
Hi, this is Edmund. I
Okay.
joined late, so
If there are no
hello.
other questions, sorry, for some reason I cannot hear you. So if you may want to type the question in the chat window. Can you speak up one more time, Edmund?
Hello. Can you?
Yes, I can hear
Yeah.
you now. Sorry.
Okay. All right. I joined late, so forgive my if this is redundant, but is it possible that it would be able to, instead of just the internet, uh, service a bunch of IP address ranges like CIDRs? Like one of the
Yes.
issues that I was dealing with was instead of typing internet, they were using a combination of 0.0.0.0/0 or /1/2. So sort of cheating their way into using those things.
Yes, you can. I mean, for example, let's say protocol is TCP, source type is um public internet. You can give this address space here.
Okay, all right, got it.
Okay. Sorry, yeah, I should have talked about it. So you can give that address space here, whatever. And by the way, this can be IPv4 or IPv6. You see here?
Oh,
This is
yeah, 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 yeah,
IPv6.
yeah. Okay,
Okay.
all right,
So
perfect.
that's it.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Any other questions, folks? We are right on time. Okay.
Awesome tool. Awesome tool. This is really good.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And yeah, it's just I just scratched the surface in public preview. So please take a look and provide your feedback to the product group. And thank you for joining. And if there are no other questions, thank you. And I hope everybody have a great rest of their day and a wonderful weekend. Thank you very
Hey,
much.
have a great weekend. Bye.
Thank you.